Alderbridge was the kind of town that never made headlines. A quiet stretch of houses, a main street lined with old brick shops, and a river that curved like a silver thread behind it. The locals said the river was older than the town itself, and whispered that it remembered everything. That changed one autumn when a fog rolled in overnight. With it came the disappearance of a man investigating Alderbridge's most buried secret. On a cold October morning, a journalist was reported missing. His car was found parked near the old Alderbridge Hotel. Keys still in the ignition, camera equipment in the back seat. Neighbors claimed they'd seen him 2 nights before, walking toward the river just after midnight. No one saw him return. Police found footprints leading down to the water's edge, but none coming back. The river was calm, too calm. Later, investigators recovered a GPS tracker from his bag. The last recorded coordinates pointed to a spot near the old pier, the same place where, almost a century earlier, a riverboat captain named Elias Moore had mysteriously vanished. Records from 1923 show that Captain Elias Moore operated a riverboat said to have carried goods and, some suspected, illegal cargo during Prohibition. He was rumored to have hidden a large sum of money before his disappearance. When the water level dropped that winter, locals found something strange. Pieces of a boat that had been burned deliberately and a lockbox, empty, buried in thick mud. The fortune was never found. Some believed the captain's own crew turned on him. Others said he never left Alderbridge at all. Over generations, the story became a local ghost tale told to children. But within the last decade, interest in the case resurfaced when documents and old photographs revealed that several of the town's earliest families might have been connected to Moore's missing fortune. A week before the journalist disappeared, something unusual appeared in town. Overnight, a mural was painted on the side of a building near the old hotel. It showed the Alderbridge River winding through a landscape with blood-red water and an image of a key half buried in mud. No one claimed credit for the painting. No cameras captured anyone near the building. Despite rain the next day, the mural's paint didn't run. Investigation showed it had been done with a weather-resistant pigment industrial grade, something not easily found locally. At the mural's bottom corner were the initials MS. Police couldn't identify what they stood for. Within days, rumors spread that the mural marked the location of something buried by the river. That same week, the journalist began asking questions about Alderbridge's founding families. Months after the disappearance, state investigators searched the same riverbank. A metal trunk was discovered half buried under tree roots. Inside were documents, old legal contracts, receipts, and photographs dating back to the 1920s. Among them was a list of names. Many were familiar to the town: former police officers, council members, and business owners. Most were deceased. Several had died under unexplained circumstances. Traces of blood and residual DNA were later found on the trunk's handle. Testing matched the samples to the missing journalist. Beneath the papers was a smaller box containing a brass key, heavily corroded. Forensic dating confirmed it was likely from the early 20th century, the same period Captain Moore's ship disappeared. The documents painted a disturbing picture. Financial records showed connections between Alderbridge officials and a front company registered in another state, a company that handled large sums of money through cash deposits and donations dating back decades. It appeared the town's founders and their descendants had benefited from this hidden fortune. The illegal operations Captain Moore once ran on the river may have been quietly continued under new names, long after his disappearance. Every time an outsider came close to discovering the truth, something happened: files lost, witnesses unaccounted for, accidents near the river. The pattern stretched back nearly a century. 6 months after the journalist vanished, a body surfaced downstream. It was a man, face unrecognizable due to the condition of the remains. Identification came from a wristwatch, a rare model identical to one the journalist was known to wear. The official report cited drowning, but the autopsy noted ligature marks on the wrists and bruising along the neck. The body had been in the water for several months, long enough for evidence to erode. Locals refused to speak on record, though whispers spread fast. Some claimed that the same night he disappeared, they saw faint lights by the river. Others said the fog that morning smelled like copper and decay. The police ruled the death accidental. 1 year later, a digital recording was mailed anonymously to a local news station. The audio lasted 7 minutes. It began with the sound of rushing water, followed by faint breathing. Midway through the recording, a voice could be heard saying, "The truth costs what you're willing to pay for it." No other words followed. Analysts confirmed the voice was the missing journalist's. The package had no fingerprints, no postmark, no traceable origin. Within a week of receiving it, the station's copy of the audio vanished from their servers. The lead reporter covering the story resigned soon after. Researchers comparing Alderbridge's history to similar towns found a pattern. Each time a major murder, disappearance, or scandal surfaced, the town's economy mysteriously surged shortly after new businesses opened, land values rose, or large donations filled the local government budget. Money always followed tragedy. The same town leaders were connected by bloodline or business ties stretching back to the era of Captain Moore. No prosecutions ever took place. No official inquiries survived longer than a few weeks before being quietly closed. Today, Alderbridge remains largely the same. Peaceful, polite, a place where nothing bad ever really happens. Years later, residents reported fog rolling in again at dawn, almost exactly on the anniversary of the journalist's disappearance. When the sun rose, a new mural covered the back wall of the town library. It showed the same river, still and gray, with a key floating on its surface. Beneath it, in red letters, were 3 words: "The river remembers." City workers painted over it the next day. By morning, it had returned perfectly recreated. To this day, no one knows who painted the murals or who mailed the tape. The case of the missing journalist remains officially unsolved. The townspeople speak of him quietly, if at all. Police reports, financial ledgers, photographs, all real. But the truth linking them is still buried beneath Alderbridge's calm waters. Some say the river took him. Others think he got too close to what the town was built on. What's certain is this: every secret in Alderbridge ends up in the same place, the river. And the river remembers.